Hello, movie nerds, and welcome back to Cinematic Sarcastic, a podcast that talks all things movies and television. My name is Natalie, and I'm your host. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about a couple of different things: a new thriller television series, which has just come out, and a movie. And now I threw in the movie as like an extra because there is a little caveat to the television series, and I wanted to make sure you guys could still have something to watch if this is not available in your area. So the television series that we're going to talk about today is called The Doll Factory. It is based on a book of the same title. Now, as far as I'm aware, as of recording this, it has been released on Paramount Plus, but only in the United Kingdom. So I am not sure in the EU, like who has viewing availability or not. I just know that that is not available in the United States unless you are like using a VPN in order to get access to it. So The Doll Factory is based around a main character named Iris. She is sort of like a hired help, if you will, for a woman who makes ceramic dolls after deceased loved ones. And this story is taking place in the 1850s, I believe. So it is a darker, grittier kind of Victorian age story. She ends up getting approached by a painter who wants to use her as his muse. And she sort of develops this idea that, yes, she'll pose for him if he will teach her how to paint. And she gets these ideas of having a better life than just painting dolls. Now, where this sort of takes a trippy, kind of darker thriller element to it is that she does run into another man earlier to the painter who does taxidermy, and he becomes sort of unnaturally obsessed with her. And the story kind of just follows that whole arc, right? Now, the reason why I wanted to throw in another movie into this review is that, you know, The Dollhouse is not available in the United States yet, but it gives me a ton of vibes from another film, which is also based on a book that I very much love. And so if you guys are at all interested in The Doll Factory, and you want something similar to watch until that becomes available where you are, then I would highly recommend watching a film called Perfume. And this is based off of a book as well. I believe the book was published originally in the 1980s, and it basically follows a perfumist. And again, this is also, I want to say in Victorian times. It might be earlier than that. I can't quite remember, but it is an older one. It definitely is not like a modern story. And it follows a perfumer who decides that he wants to kind of capture the essence of these beautiful women that he comes across, and he ends up using them in order to make perfumes. And by using them, I mean he is using parts of their bodies. It goes through the whole kind of process of how he does that in the movie. I don't want to give away too much of how everything happens, but it is one of my favorite movies just in terms of creepiness. I do own the book. I do own this movie on DVD because it is one that I enjoy. It's just sort of an out of the box strange little tale, and The Doll Factory very much reminds me of that. I'm not sure if they are completely similar. It gives me similar vibes, but Perfume for me just sort of seems like they have a little bit more in-depth characters. Perfume is also one of those strange ones that I feel like is just an unsung kind of hero, because Dustin Hoffman is in Perfume. I believe so is Alan Rickman. It's just one of those ones that kind of got lost somewhere to the wayside and nobody really talked about it very much, or I don't know if it was well received at the time that it came out, but I absolutely adore it. It's creepy, but in kind of an interesting way. And that is what drew me to The Doll Factory, is because there have been some comparisons there. There are only 2 episodes of The Doll Factory out now, but I believe all of them will be available at least in the United Kingdom, sometime after the 5th of December. I think that there are only 6 episodes, so it is a shorter run kind of series, but I have watched the first 2. I am interested in it because this is just kind of my guilty little pleasure of enjoyment, like television series like these. So I would definitely recommend The Doll Factory whenever it comes out for viewing where you are. But beyond that, if The Doll Factory does not sound like something for you, Perfume is absolutely one that I would recommend. And I would love to know your guys' thoughts on it, because this one is a little bit more obscure and a little bit more strange. So I don't know if this is something that the majority of people finds fun to watch. But definitely let me know what you guys think of either The Doll Factory if you are watching it, or Perfume. Subscribe if you want to join the Movie Nerd family, and I hope to see you in the next episode.